We're getting to the nitty gritty in this video. Y'all want to know how to open up y'all own salon? Stay tuned. All right. So, in today's video, it's really going to be more in depth of how I actually opened up my salon, just starting from that point. We're not gonna go too far into the past. I'm just gonna walk you guys through exactly like how it happened from beginning to the end. So, like a lot of different steps and a lot of different tips. So it was my 23rd birthday, and I really wasn't planning on leaving the shop that I was at until the beginning of the new year. But I was looking at so many different other places. I was figuring out like the qualifications, the requirements, and everything that I needed. And I started looking for actual places. That's how you know when it's real, when you actually start like getting out and looking and not just looking online. So I seen this one place on Facebook Marketplace while I was on my way to my birthday. On the way to my birthday. But I went to Atlanta for my birthday. So while I was on the way to Atlanta, I seen this one building on Facebook Marketplace, and I messaged him and I scheduled it for the day after when I knew I would be back. So I went to look at it, and it just wasn't what I wanted. Like, it was partially what I wanted, but it just felt like I was settling, and I didn't have it on my mind like right then and there to move or like a need to move. So I felt like, what am I settling for? So when I went there, it was a suite. So usually when you look up like suites, it's really like a bunch of office spaces on the inside. So it was connected to other suites. That's another reason I didn't like it. So it was a door connected to somebody else's, basically. And you walk in, it had 3 rooms, a lobby, and 1 restroom, and it had a back door. It had carpet in the hallway. That was like a no off rip, because a carpet in a salon is a big no, because that's really like, I wouldn't say like a safety hazard, but like that's really dirty, because you wash hair in a salon. Even if you're not a stylist that wash hair and you do wigs, then you're washing those wigs and there's carpet on the floor. That carpet is going to get wet, and then it's going to get moldy. It might not show at the top, but it'll start growing at the bottom and it'll lead to the top. Or if you even do braids, you got to dip them braids. Like, it's always going to be some type of water in any type of shop. Even if you're an esthetician, you need to wet your towels for the facial. You need to do the actual facials. You might do the yoni steams. If you're a nail tech, you got a pedicure chair. Like, those things happen. And even if you find a way around the water, like you got the hair, you got all these implements, carpet is just not easy to clean. Like, if you are just like a consultant, a lawyer, or just something like business like that, I wouldn't even suggest having carpet in like a clothing store. Like, just make it easier to clean. But yeah, and then it had a sink in the hallway. The sink, that threw me off, because why is it a sink in the hallway? But that would have been beneficial for my nail tech, because when you're at a salon, well, a nail salon, and it's a certain point where you gotta go wash your hands. So that would have been beneficial, especially if somebody was in the restroom at the time. But it was like a no. And the suite next to it was also up for grabs. So it was connected, but it had a storage space in the middle. And he said, when somebody buys one, he locks the other one so nobody can cross over. Didn't really trust that. So it was a storage space in the middle, right? And I'm like, who gonna get this storage space? Because it was nowhere in there where I could store anything. Like, I would have to use one of the rooms as a storage room. My lips are just so chapped right now. but I would have to use one of the rooms as a storage room, and that was just a no. So that one had 3 rooms, a restroom, a lobby, yeah, and it was 700 or 770, something like that. I don't know. It was 7 something. Then cross over to the next one. It had like 6 or 7 rooms, but they were closets. Like, and if I was only interested into having just strictly like a hair person, or maybe even like just a nail tech, like I would have went for it, but they were so small, and then I couldn't even have made 2 of those rooms mine because they were so small. And I do waxes, lashes, and the hair, and I do more. It just wasn't enough space. Like, those 6 rooms crammed in. I think that one was like 1,000 square feet, yeah. And it had like 6 or 7 rooms, 2 restrooms. It also had a back door, and the lobby was a little bit bigger. So just imagine like 6 or 7 rooms plus 2 restrooms and 1,000 square feet. That was small. And the other one was like 700 square feet. So yeah, that wasn't what I wanted. So ended up looking at another one that was down the street. It was $1,000. It had 3 rooms. It was nice and big, but it was also connected to another suite. I just didn't like that, and the storage space was crap. The parking was trash. Like, it was a no. So ended up looking online at places, because a lot of people that weren't calling me back, like rescheduling, or either just didn't fit my criteria, what I wanted. And it was this one, she had a suite. It was 3 rooms, basically the same thing that I got here. The layout also looks the same, but I was never able to see it in person. But it had 3 rooms, a lobby, and a restroom, and it had a good amount of storage space. It was $500, and she paid all of the bills. You just had to pay the $500. But the thing was, at the time, it had carpet in it. But I asked her, I was like, can I rip the carpet up? She was like, yeah, if you put commercial grade tiles up under it. So I'm like, okay, cool, because $500, and I'll be saving so much money with, you paying. And it wouldn't have been like a big deal to me, because that would have been a lot of money that I was saving. She never got back with me. A week later, tell me why she reposted it, and she just renovated the whole building and like upped the price. I was like, wow. But yeah, whatever. It just wasn't meant to be. Then it was another place that I saw. It had like 6 or 7 rooms, 2 restrooms, a break room, and a conference room. And I forgot how much the square feet was. The rooms were very, very spacious. The rent was $1,500. That wasn't bad for all those rooms, 2 restrooms, a conference room, and a break room. That was not bad at all. And then it was on a main street. Like, that was a good deal. But I was like, $1,500, like, I don't know, because when you look for a place, just don't. Okay, if your budget is $1,500, don't go and get a place that's $1,500, because you have to think about like the overhead for the building, electricity, water, supplies, like miscellaneous, insurance, like so much stuff could happen. So I was like, dang. But that would have been a lot more money coming back to me, because I could have rented out 6 of those rooms, and that would have paid for the rent plus the overhead. But you can't always think like that starting out, unless you just gonna push forward and just keep going for it. But I would say get a place that you can afford by yourself. Like, that's what I did. I got a place that I could afford by myself. So the last place that I wanted to be at, and I really don't know why I was just so hesitant to come over here. I think it was because it was so many like barbershops and salons already over here, but you can't really think like that. Like, just because it's a clothing store in one lot, you shouldn't be like, oh, I don't want to put my clothing store right here. It's not going to be successful. You just have to brand yourself like totally different from other people. Make them want to shop with you. Make them want to come to you. And then most of the times when people get like their own stuff, they already have their own set clientele. So it's really nothing to it. But I got over here and it was cool. 3 rooms, storage. It had everything that I wanted except 2 restrooms. I really did want 2 restrooms because when I was at my other shop, it was frustrating having to wait on other people to use the restroom. It was like 4 other stylists plus their clients, and then 2 stylists would bring their kids. So it would be like 10 to 15 people at the shop at once. So 1 restroom was really not enough. But yeah, I ended up coming here. I looked at it, talked to her. I had a list already ready of questions to ask her. I needed to make sure, hey, can I put a salon bowl in here? Talked to her. She was like, yeah. I'm gonna get to that in a whole nother video. But I was like, can I put a salon bowl in here? She was like, yeah, you can change how you want to. The last girl, she needed ventilation, so she put the ventilation in here. So yeah, you just let us know before you come. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I made sure, like, with Stay Board, like, what's the requirements, what I needed to do. Checked everything off with them. Got my inspection with the city. That's a whole another thing with the city. So I'm gonna just make the struggles it took to get my salon video. I'm gonna definitely do that one, but we gonna keep it positive in this video. But yeah, so got with the city, got my occupational license. Well, first you gotta get your occupancy certificate, then get your occupational license, then get into like the sales tax and all that other good stuff. It took me like a week to get my occupancy straight. And yeah, I'm gonna just talk about that in the struggles of the video. Like, y'all, it's just so much to talk about. But anyways, what else? Oh, and then I got my name like fully trademarked. I really had it on reserve. I already had my business name and all this other good stuff, but I didn't have it trademarked. So I trademarked my business name, trademarked my logo, my products, like all this other good stuff. Took that off reserve. What else? Funding. So I got the funding while I was looking. So I was already like on it. I was asking people, what's the requirements for you having like a salon? Like, what all I need to make sure that I have? What's all this other stuff? So I was figuring out I needed my license, from State Board, cosmetology license. I need the salon license, of course, occupancy license, and you get the inspection once you get your occupancy certificate. But after that, you're good to go. But as far as like the State Board qualifications for having a salon, you need to make sure you have good and running water. You can really have them come inspect your building before it's even done. I wish I would have known that. Like, I didn't have her come and inspect it until my shop was fully done. But I could have had her come as soon as I signed the lease. And I did not know that. I wish I would have known that. And I could have got my license way faster. But anyways, yeah. And make sure you have like I said, running water, hot and cold. If you're a hairstylist, make sure you have a working blow dryer. Make sure you have a barbicide on hand. You have to have barbicides to clean your products. They need to make sure you're sanitizing. Make sure you have a container for your dirty linens, and it has to have a top on it. And your trash cans have to have tops on them as well. That was pretty much it for the hair and the skin part that I can remember. Don't really know that much about nails. All I know is ventilation for sure. But yeah. But as far as like the funding, as I was asking people, what's the requirements for a building, who that do this, who that do that, I was looking for funding. So when I was shopping for, this was like a way before then, and I really never did nothing with that card. I was shopping for something, and I signed up for an American Express business card, and I got it, and they gave me like $3,000 to start out with. Then they bumped it up to $15,000, and I wasn't using it like until I got this place. And then later on, I got like loans from them, and it was just stuff that was just given to me, and I wasn't realizing this is what really helped me and what set me up to be where I am. And so then went further, like looking into it, and I'm like, I'm gonna need more than $15,000 like to open up this shop. I mean, I probably could have did it with less, like if I didn't really like decorate it how I decorated. I feel like my lobby cost me the most because of the grass. Like the grass went up. I don't know when it stopped, bro. Just having some technical difficulties with this video. So it cut off, and I didn't know it cut off. I had to figure out where I stopped talking at. But anyways, talking about funding. So I already had a little bit of funding before. I had an American Express business card, and then I had a loan from them as well, but I really didn't do nothing with the credit card. They've been sent me information on how to apply for the loan, but I never did it because you get so much stuff in the mail from these companies when you first start using your credit, talking about pre-approved, and you try it and you're not pre-approved. So I just thought it was bait. But once I actually but before I even had a place and I was getting ready and ordering things that I would need, I went ahead, I applied, and I was approved. And so I had like $15,000. Then I applied with my bank, so I had got like a credit card from them, and I got like $10,000 from them. So together I had like that much amount of money, but I really felt like that still wasn't enough, but I made it work. Because when you don't have the money, you're like, what is she talking about? Like $25,000. I could have did something with $25,000. And then you really get the money and you start ordering stuff. Because you have the money, you go ahead and get everything that you need, especially the stuff that's like necessary. And then you start looking and you're like, damn, $25,000 is not actually enough. But made it work. So I said this in the last video, I was ordering stuff weekly. Yeah, I know. If you had the money, why are you ordering stuff weekly? Yeah, I wish I would have ordered everything all at once, just for the simple fact that I had the money. And then when you order things, sometimes everything's not going to come all at once. So I did room by room. So say if you order things weekly and you doing the lobby and everything don't come for the lobby in time, or if it come and then you need to send it back because it's not what you expected, and you just like, all right, I'm just trying to check off each room one by one, the lobby got you on hold. So just, if you have the money, if you have it, order everything all at once. And then if you got to send something back for the lobby, you can go into your esthetician room, your nail room, or if you have a store, you can go in like the shoe department or the hat department and just do what you need to do, versus only solely focusing on this one area. When it's all what you need to be focused on, you need to be focused on it all. So yeah, I had the funding. Yeah, and I like my what my funding is through. Like, I like it. Okay, so everything I did in this shop, I did it by myself, except, and I just love telling people that, like, except the bowl, of course, the mirror and the TV. My dad hung the mirror and the TV, and I had a plumber do the bowl. Oh, and my dad carved out these chairs. If y'all seen these, people on TikTok love these. But these chairs were made from 55-gallon drums, and I just painted them and like upholstered them and stuff. But he carved them out for me. Yeah, everything here, I made my register. That didn't take long. It made my head hurt because I was using a staple gun, and that's a thick piece of wood that register is made from. So putting the staples through it over and over, it was just sounding off like, and making my head just thump, 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 and that was just irritating. I came up with the design for my shop in my head. A lot of people, they see a blank canvas and they can't really just picture what they want, how they want it to be. But I saw a blank canvas, I saw what I wanted to do, and I just made it happen. And I can't wait to have somebody else on here with me. Like, it's a whole nother chair over there, and I just have so many ideas. I just can't wait to interview somebody else that's in business, and we just talk business and get y'all the tea, get y'all information. A lot of people are gatekeepers. I don't gatekeep. If I can help, unless it's something hands-on, like, I don't like working with lazy people. Nothing's gonna be handed to you. If I'm giving you the recipe, why you can't go in the kitchen and make it? You want me to hold your hand, or you want me to make it myself and give it to you? Like, no, you gotta go out and you gotta get it. If you want me to do that, then you gotta pay me. And a lot of people feel like you're greedy when you say that, but I just gave you all the steps, 1, 2, and 3. Why you couldn't do it? But yeah, next video, I'm gonna give y'all a tour of the shop, and then I feel like that's gonna be even better, and just talk about just more in depth, just talking how I made the chairs, how I came up with the theme. Like, my theme is vintage girly. When y'all see my shop, you're gonna be like, hell yeah, this is girly. And all the little things that I have here, I have like a vintage telephone, a vintage record player, vintage radio. If I could have had a vintage TV, I would have had it. But everything is vintage. So the next video, yes, I'm gonna just walk you all through my whole shop, tell y'all why I chose to have everything laid out like this, where I got certain things from. There might be like a bunch of parts right there, because each room is a vibe. But I feel like my hair room is an escape, because the lobby, vintage girly, almost like outdoor jungle. You go into the esthetician room, kind of the same thing, mainly like giving outdoor. It got the grass, it got the leaves and all this other stuff. I made flower pots. Yes, I made flower pots. And then you go into my hair room and it's chic. Like, I really wanted it white. I wanted everything like white and pink. because white stuff makes a room bigger. Like if you get white things in your room, it'll make your room bigger. And pink is my color. It's just, it brings everything else out. Then in the back room, that's where it's like my office space. So, and that's why I also like host brunches and stuff like that. It giving very like cafe girly. So I need to call my TT because she's supposed to be bringing me some chairs. But yep. But y'all stay tuned. I'm loving doing these videos. Like I don't mind helping other people out. I don't mind giving away gems, dropping tea, just spilling it all. I don't mind. But y'all stay tuned for the next video.